Well, keeper Gordon Marshall and Rangers legend Ian Durrant have been ever-present for Kilmarnock this season. Ali Mitchell, who scored a famous winner here in the penultimate game of last season, is back in the starting lineup. Frenchman Jerome Vareille drops to the bench. Paul Wright is left out completely. Ali McCoy's not fit enough to face his former club.
Yeah, I have to say I'm surprised that Bobby has left Jerome Vareille out. He did say, of course, to Martin Geisler that he's a handy man to bring on, and that certainly is the case. Alan Mahood will play more or less in the role that Mark Riley has played for Kilmarnock over the last couple of seasons. He'll sit in front of the back four. Up front, I'm not convinced that Ali Mitchell will partner Mark Roberts in a straight striking partnership. I think we may well see Ali Mitchell drift off left here, and that, of course, leaves a gap that John Henry must exploit. He did it ever so well at Rugby Park against St Johnstone last week, and he has to get forward as often as possible this afternoon.
Well, it's not often the spotlight falls on the visitors to Ibrox more than it does the home team, but that's the case today. Rangers have already secured their 48th league title. Kilmarnock aim to claim a place in the UEFA Cup. All they've got to do to guarantee that is beat Rangers on their patch. May sound a little tricky, but it's something they have managed to do in 2 of the last 3 seasons. If Kilmarnock do finish third, there's a really bizarre scenario whereby Scotland could get an extra place in Europe via the Fair Play League, but as the first 3 places may well be occupied by the 3 teams already in Europe, the 4th place team in the Fair Play League could yet go into the UEFA Cup. At the moment, that's Aberdeen, closely followed by Dundee United. I'm trying to explain that the best way I can, but to be honest, you need to be a member of Mensa to work out UEFA's qualification guidelines these days.
Yeah, the one thing that we do know, though, is that Kilmarnock are going to have to take their chances this afternoon. I watched them against St Johnstone last week, and they missed a couple of early chances. The heads went down slightly after that. They're not going to get many opportunities here at Ibrox today, so any that do come their way, they're going to have to make the most of.
The Scottish season is heading towards a cracking climax with next week's Old Firm Cup final, but there's a little league business to take care of first. Rangers know where they're going to finish. Celtic know where they're going to finish. Kilmarnock aren't quite so sure, with St Johnstone clipping their heels in the race for a UEFA Cup place. Lorenzo Amoruso has already lifted the League Cup and the brand new Scottish Premier League trophy. Rangers doing the double. Next week they go for the treble. But Dick Advocat's no-nonsense, very professional approach to every game means that he'll accept nothing less than total commitment and maximum effort today. He'll want to bow out of Ibrox in style and head to Hampden on a high. Kilmarnock know, though, that there is a job to be done here. The best defence in Scotland, Kilmarnock's, meets the second best defence, Rangers. Something's got to give. Colin Hendry has been troubled by a groin problem since the winter break, really. He's missed the last couple of games, but after seeing a specialist in Belgium this week, he's been given the all-clear to make a timely return ahead of the cup final. Gabriel Amato is far more popular with the fans here than he is with his coach. Dick Advocat has been generally unimpressed, and with Dutch striker Michael Mols arriving in the summer, this could be Amato's Ibrox farewell. A return to Spain seems likely. The main threat to Rangers comes from one of their old boys. Ian Durrant has had a truly splendid season conducting the Kilmarnock Orchestra. He's been an ever-present, something he never managed in 14 seasons with Rangers. Kilmarnock, as I said, with the best defence in Scotland, and here's a big reason why. Gordon Marshall's fine form earned him a 4-year contract at the age of 34. Marshall actually began his career with Rangers, but never made the first team. He'd be first to acknowledge the contribution of the men in front of him as well, I'm sure. Big day for Bobby Williamson as he hopes to take Kilmarnock into Europe yet again. A Rangers player. Willie Young is the man in charge of this one on the final day of the Scottish Premier League season. Kilmarnock in their change kit of yellow shirts. Rangers hoping to compete a clean sweep, 4 wins out of 4 over Killie this season. They've not done that to any other team. Kilmarnock, though, have won on two of the last 3 seasons here at Ibrox. Mitchell. To say Ibrox is the quietest I've known it this season.
Yeah, I think there's bound to be a sense of anticlimax, Ian, now that the championship has been wrapped up. But I do think Rangers will want to go into the cup final on a high. I don't think the good form is something you can switch on and off, and I think they'll want to win this and go into the cup final psychologically in good shape.
MacPherson, who actually started his career with Rangers, never made the first team, will take the throw, and he'll get it back. An early test for Stefan Klos, who wasn't under much pressure, despite the fact that Mitchell was flying in. That's a decent throw as well, which has released Andrei Kanchelskis. Claudio Reyna, who won't be eligible to play in the cup final next week. Nearly on the end of that one too, but Marshall sprung off his line.
Yeah, not for the first time as well. He reacts very quickly, Gordon Marshall. He has to play more or less as a sweeper at times, given the way that Kilmarnock play at the back. Good exchange here between Reyna and Amato, but Marshall reacted quickly and well.
Kanchelskis. Sergio Perini has only missed 1 league game this season. Vidmar, who's played in a lot more than he thought he would because of an injury to the Dutch World Cup star Arthur Newman. Almost a forgotten man at Ibrox indeed, but he'll be back for next season. MacPherson. Holt. Roberts. Some run from Roberts, and he decided it was worth a little go.
Yeah, it opened up from there. 3 or 4 Rangers players round him. I don't think he was going to beat Klos from this range and this angle, to be honest with you. It's encouraging stuff from Mark Roberts, who scored a smashing goal against St Johnstone last week, and showing all the signs of a very confident young man at the moment.
Hendry steps in for Rangers. The free kick goes against Van Bronckhorst. The foul on John Henry. Ian Durrant will try to create something here. He has created a fair bit throughout the season for Killie. In the end it was quite simple. Kevin McGowne with a rather ambitious effort.
Yeah, maybe a bit over-ambitious. He does strike the ball very, very sweetly at times, though, Kevin McGowne. Even from this range, had he put it on target, it might have troubled Klos.
Johansson's flick on. Gary Holt. First goal of the final day in the Scottish Premier League, scored by Gary McSwiggan. Hearts having a great end to the season. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 1 at Pittodrie. They may be having a good end to the season, Hearts, but I think they'll still be glad to see the back of it. Here's Hendry. Vidmar was a little casual, to say the least. Roberts. And Hendry's stretch leg was vital then.
Yeah, it certainly was, because John Hendry had made a good run into the box behind him.
Dylan Kerr. Second dig from distance for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think Kilmarnock have shown already that at every opportunity they're going to try and pepper Stefan Klos's goal. And why not? Nobody closed them down.
Van Bronckhorst, who's off to Brazil next month to play a couple of games for Holland. Vidmar finding Alberts. Rangers won 1-0 when the teams met here in December. They were more convincing at Rugby Park with 3-1 and 5-0 triumphs. Kanchelskis. It's going to go through to Amato. A rare moment of miscontrol from the Argentinian. Van Bronckhorst. Johansson getting a rare start with Rod Wallace suspended. Nice skills from him though. Amato on the end of the cross. Oh, it's looped in! Over Gordon Marshall! And Gabriel Amato with an early goal for Rangers in what could be his Ibrox farewell.
Yeah, superb contribution though from Johansson on the left here. He skins Gus MacPherson. Gus MacPherson's goal side here, he's in control. He just dives in a bit here, he's caught. It's a good deep ball to the back post, and I have to say I don't think Gordon Marshall will be pleased when he sees this one again. Doesn't really move his feet quickly enough to adjust his position. He's caught underneath it. It's a decent header from Amato, but it's in there a long time. And I think Gordon Marshall would have to hold his hands up there. But a fine delivery from Jonathan Johansson. Past Gus MacPherson, a good ball to the back post. I really don't think Amato should be scoring with a header like this. And it's an uphill task already for Kilmarnock.
That'll teach us to talk about Kilmarnock having the best defence in Scotland. Although they still do. 29 conceded. Rangers let in 30. Second best. But it's Kilmarnock who are second best in this game at the moment. They have to win to guarantee third place. Although much depends as well on the outcome of St Johnstone against Dundee. No goals so far at McDermott Park. Amato, the hat-trick hero of last week's match at Motherwell.
And here's the goal again, and it's Amato well up at the back post above Dylan Kerr. I think if Gordon Marshall had moved his feet a bit quicker, just to readjust his position, he might have got a full hand onto that. And it's ironic that he's at fault, because having seen a good deal of Kilmarnock over the last few weeks, he really has been in magnificent form.
Yes, that was a rarity. Here's a chance though for Kilmarnock to bounce back with Mark Roberts. Referee Willie Young. Then just really care. Then on the attack. Kanchelskis. Johansson, who supplied the cross. There's another goal at Pitovry, and Jamie Buchan has equalised for Aberdeen. They're tied at 1-1 with Hearts. Van Bronckhorst, Kanchelskis. Alberts. Vidmar. Alberts gives Vidmar another chance, but McGowne has got this one covered. He has been in fine form this season, but then most of the Killie defence have.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding season. Vidmar here, as usual, willing to get forward. I think a more effective player when Rangers play with three at the back, but he's always willing to get forward. Never been one of the most popular players here in Ibrox, but makes a fair contribution.
Johansson, almost on the end of that rather hopeful punt into the box from Amoruso.
Well, that's a danger when you're up against the pace of this man. He is so mobile, so quick. And once again, Gordon Marshall had to act as a sweeper.
Amato. Kanchelskis. Vareille. Kanchelskis helps it on to Claudio Reyna, who will settle for the throw. He wasn't signed in time to be eligible for next week's Scottish Cup final. Looks a useful acquisition for Dick Advocat's team.
Yeah, and I think he has the physical capabilities to settle in well, and he can look after himself, which is important in this part of the world.
Amato rather crowded out, but he's persisting. Fans have really taken to Gabriel Amato, but unfortunately for him, Dick Advocaat hasn't. He's considered a free kick there. Kerr. Amoruso. With a rather wayward one that time. So long ago they were booing Lorenzo Amoruso, but he's a bit of a hero now.
Yeah, he also seems to be immune from Dick Advocaat's insistence that nobody plays the long ball. He really does fancy the long ball at times, and I know that Colin Hendry was told very early here in his Rangers career that he would have to cut the long ball out. Dick Advocaat wanted everything short. But Amoruso quite happy at times to miss out the midfield and get it forward quickly.
Here's his fellow Italian, Perini. He's helped out by Hendry. Lauchlan climbing over Amato. Hendry on Broncos. Kilmarnock won here in the penultimate game of last season by 1-0. And that gave Celtic the upper hand in the title race, leaving Rangers to settle for second. To them, Kerr, not quite sure that's what he meant to do. MacPherson looking for Holt. Albert's slid in. From Broncos. Patient play from Rangers, and also trying a little fancy flick, which didn't really come off. Tim Lauchlan was sent off against Rangers back in August. Amoruso. Perini. Amato. This is Dylan Kerr. Albert's helped it on, but Amoruso helps it back to Stefan Kloss.
Yeah, I think the Kilmarnock front pairing really have to try and hold the ball up. The long ball played forward there from Dylan Kerr, just asking too much of Mark Roberts. But anything that is played up, they really have to hold it in and let the midfield get forward to support.
Albert's forcing Perini to track back a little. Rangers 5-0 win at Rugby Park in February was their biggest league victory over Kilmarnock for 17 years. I recall they scored quite early on then, and they have done in this game as well, but Johansson has conceded a free kick. Durrant. From Broncos. Amato. Earning more applause from the Rangers fans. Albert steps past Holt. Looks for Johansson, but that'll be comfortable for Gordon Marshall.
Yeah, just tried to drop one in behind there. Once again, Gordon Marshall reacted well. I think Kilmarnock really have to lift themselves here. There's a kind of unreal atmosphere in the stadium here. As we said, it's very, very quiet. But there's so much at stake for Bobby Williams' side. They really have to try and up a gear here.
Kevin McGowne. Roberts. No way past Amoruso. No surprise there. Kanchelskis. Rangers got a little crowded out. MacPherson. Durrant. MacPherson had to give that a bit of a welly, with Van Bronckhorst closing in.
Yeah, 60-40 there in Rangers' favour. And Bobby did say during this week that he didn't expect to have the Lions' share of possession here, which makes it all the more important that when Kilmarnock, or if Kilmarnock do make a chance or two, they have to make it count.
Here's John Henry, assisted by Ali Mitchell. Kerr, met by Amoruso. Well, there might have been a shove by Kerr on Kanchelskis. Durrant. Johansson neatly on to Van Bronckhorst. He's going to wing it to Alberts. Vidmar supporting down the flank. But it goes first of all to Amato. Oh, what a turn away from Kevin McGowne. Took a diversion to Van Bronckhorst. Vidmar, Alberts. Alberts eventually dispossessed. Kilmarnock finished 4th last season. Best position, in fact, for almost 30 years. Could go one better this season. St Johnstone hot on their heels in the race for a place in Europe. But if Kilmarnock don't make it, they could yet get in through the back door via the Fair Play League, which they are top of at the moment. Perini. Kanchelskis. Just went away from Rayner. Roberts has to wait for a little bit of support. Kevin McGowne. On first time from Henry. McGowne. Roberts, Durrant. Russo's determined he's going to get it away, but he hasn't done. Durrant's cross, there's nobody over that side.
Yeah, it's a poor ball, but Kilmarnock at last starting to get some players forward. Had been penned in for the earlier part of the game. Starting to get some movement from midfield up towards the front two. But we're still not happy.
Real atmosphere around Ibrox, with the crowd very quiet. Mind you, most of their work has been done for this season with the League Cup and Scottish Premier League trophy in the cabinet already. Maybe one more to come. Although Celtic might disagree. Holt's header. Johnson are just a point behind Kilmarnock in the table, but Kilmarnock have a much better goal difference, which could come in handy.
Yeah, but I think Kilmarnock will assume that St Johnstone will win today, and that may not be the case, of course, but I think Bobby will be telling them to assume that St Johnstone will beat Dundee, which effectively means that Kilmarnock have to win here.
Kanchelskis. Vidmar. Alberts. Van Bronckhorst. This is a neat move. Offside flag goes up against Alberts as Vidmar slipped it through to him.
Yeah, the far side assistant took his time putting the flag up. Eventually, the arm did go up, but it was a good piece of play by Alberts, who began the move. You can see him was on his way there as the ball's played wide. And he points for it to be delivered into the space. And in fact, he's level. He's unlucky there. And it was a late flag by the far side assistant. And that was good play there by George Alberts.
19 goals this season for the Hammer. Of those 19, mind you, have come from the penalty spot, and unusually he missed a couple of penalties as well against Hearts and against Stenhousemuir in the Cup. Dick Advocat, his first season in charge of Rangers, some season.
Yeah, speaking to Rangers chairman David Murray before the match, he tells me that there should be a major announcement on Dick Advocat's future next week, so I think we can only take it that he is going to commit himself to an extension of his contract. David Murray knows how crucial it is to nail Dick Advocat down for the longer term future. A lot of plans here at Ibrox for youth academies and a revamping of the whole youth development system, and he sees Dick Advocat as critical to those plans.
Rangers under Advocat have spent £38 million on new players, and Marusso has impeded Roberts. Not surprisingly, Durrant is over the free kick, although he's going to leave it for Kevin McGowne to have another blast. He's getting closer than the last one.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad effort, and he does strike the dead ball so sweetly, and with no little power as well, and it's moving a fair bit, but I think Kloss had it covered up in the postage stamp corner there. Well, Kilmarnock encouraging in terms of goal attempts, but they haven't really troubled Rangers greatly.
Kilmarnock, in fact, have only scored 2 goals in their last 4 games. They've taken just 2 points in that time as well. They're not exactly a free-scoring side, but they don't give much away. Kerr snapping that one up. Henry. Durrant. Amato onto Kanchelskis. Kanchelskis' cross. Amato unable to make contact. Had he done so, it could have spelt more problem for Kilmarnock. As it is, they're breaking here. Well, they were. Vareille. And Vidmar very calmly nods it back to his keeper. More goal news from the Scottish Premier League on the final day of the season. Stephen Boyle has put already relegated Dunfermline 1 up against Motherwell. I don't want to worry Kilmarnock, but in the 21 games that Rangers have scored first in the league this season, they've won 20 of them and drawn the other. Holt. Kilmarnock are going to have to be a little more incisive than this.
I think at times they have to get the ball forward a bit quicker. I think overindulging at times just without the shot passing through midfield. And now and again, Art Roberts in particular has made a good angled run and just wanted the ball delivered a bit earlier.
Cario Reyna. Alberts. Perini. Cut out by Kerr. Alan Mahood. Foul. Amoruso on Roberts.
Yeah, it's a blatant challenge from behind, which has been completely outlawed now. He's fortunate he didn't get a yellow card there from Willie Young.
Alan Mahood offside against Dylan Kerr. Well, the Scottish season comes to some climax next Saturday on Sky Sports 3 from 2 o'clock. One of the greatest football occasions. Celtic against Rangers, the first Old Firm Cup final for a decade. Absolutely unmissable. Alberts looking for Amato, a little stumble from McGowne. Might let him in here. He's going to settle for the corner.
Yeah, he was almost away there, Gabriel Amato. Took up good position on the left. Kevin McGowne just slipped there, lost his footing. And he's having to chase back. He goes down again. Fortunately enough for Kevin McGowne, the ball ran out of play. But a chance for Rangers to get Henry and Amoruso up to the back post.
It's Cario Reyna's corner. Marshall came. Terribly convincingly. Kanchelskis. Gordon Marshall signed a new 4-year contract last month. He was named the Supporters Player of the Year. Van Bronckhorst. Perini. Alan Mahood. Roberts will chase it. Vidmar. Oh, he's let in John Henry here. Mistake from the Australian, and Amoruso showed just how strong he is then.
Yeah, he did very well because Henry was in the driving seat. He looked a favourite to win this. As it's knocked forward here. Bad pass back, and Henry looked to be in here. And Amoruso does well to make up the ground and squeeze him out. He's unhappy here. He feels that it should have been a goal kick, and I don't disagree with him, I have to say.
Yes, a corner that shouldn't have been. Will be taken by Durrant. Going to get the chance to do the same again. No, it's a goal kick this time. They got that the wrong way around, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's played into the front post, and I think it came off Sergio Perini.
Well, it's a poor kick from Kloss. Can Kilmarnock capitalise? MacPherson looking for Durrant. Amoruso with an unusual clearance. Mitchell. Alan Mahood. Van Bronckhorst. This could be a big break for Rangers. Reyna. Hansen have just strayed offside, but Willie Young will let Kilmarnock get on with it.
Yeah, they hold the line so well, Kilmarnock. It's Kevin McGowne who seems to be the boss at the back, and when he says out, they step up. The ball really has to be delivered as early as possible.
Kerr. Mitchell outside. Kevin McGowne. Dylan Kerr. Just too high for Henry. Alberts will let it run for the throw. Rangers this season have scored 124 goals in all competitions. That's a nudge from Amoruso on Roberts.
Yeah, it's a needless one as well, to be honest with you. And he's in control of the situation there. It's a blatant barge into the back of Van Roberts, and it gives Kilmarnock a chance here to get a shot on target.
Look at the left foot of Dylan Kerr. Or will it be Durrant? As it usually is. It is Dylan Kerr, and that's not a bad effort either.
Yeah, good effort. Plenty of movement on the ball. Stefan Klos chasing across to his left-hand post here. He's on the other post. That's a good effort from Dylan Kerr. Klos perhaps had it covered, but it wasn't a bad effort at all.
Lauchlan won the header, so did Hendry. We're saying that Rangers have scored 124 goals. A bit of a battle of Britain going on with Manchester United as far as the top scorers are concerned. They've got 126. And Maruso with an uncompromising clearance.
Well, we're only a third of the way through the match here, but I think already Jerome Vareille must be coming into Bobby Williamson's thoughts here. Not just for the mobility he would give Kilmarnock up front, but more for the body strength as well, because Roberts and Henry are finding it hard going against Amoruso and Henry so far.
MacPherson with a rather hurried cross, which Klos should claim and does, and the quick throw, or roll out, finds Rayner. Amato. I don't think even Johansson was expecting that. Mitchell looking for Kerr. Perini finding Hendry. Holt. It's opening up a little bit for him. Mahood. Henry trying to latch onto it. Not quite making it.
Well, he's always willing to get forward, John Henry. And he timed his run well here, but the pass just asked a bit too much of him. The angle always left him struggling to keep the ball in play. But he has to do that. He has to be prepared to gamble it and go ahead of his front players.
Scored a few goals on loan at Falkirk earlier in the season, John Henry. Rangers beaten only once here this season in 25 games. That was by Dundee United. And Bronckhorst. Johansson. Van Bronckhorst. Johansson's cross. Chelsea is unable to get there as it drifts behind for a goal kick.
It's played into the back post area here. Gordon Marshall decides to come and then decides he doesn't have to come and take it at all. Kanchelskis was never getting to it. But I think Kilmarnock really have to try and lift it. Rangers, I think, are playing like a side with other things in their mind, understandably so, given the cup final coming up, and Kilmarnock really have to try and get at them.
Durrant has been dispossessed here, and it could prove costly with Van Bronckhorst feeding Kanchelskis. His cross towards Amato. Goal kick.
It's a good delivery here from Kanchelskis, and Gary Holt does well. He's back beside his centre-backs here, putting Amato under pressure as it comes over, and he does enough.
Gabriel Amato did a hat-trick at Motherwell last week, but his manager said afterwards the reason was his marker played badly. Get the feeling if he scored 10 goals, Dick Advocaat would say, yeah, but he should have scored 11.
Yeah, I don't think you get second chances with Dick Advocaat, and I think he has made up his mind that Amato is surplus to requirements here.
Van Bronckhorst, Johansson, but Marshall is going to make sure that one goes behind.
Yeah, beautiful reverse pass there by Van Bronckhorst in behind Gus MacPherson. Let's look at the angle of the pass here. It's played perfectly. Johansson actually stumbles, otherwise he might have been in on Gordon Marshall. What a good player this lad is. The range of passing really is quite special.
Two quick goals at Tannadice, I can tell you. It's Dundee United 0, Celtic 2. A couple of goals for Mark Birchall in a minute. Confirmation of that latest. Mark Birchall given a rare start to great effect. Durrant, cut out by Vidmar. Alan Mahood, Henry. Lauchlan leaves it for Durrant. MacPherson on the right was absolutely begging for the ball, but didn't get it. He might now though. Here's Henry. Holt. Here is MacPherson. It's all the way across to Dylan Kerr. One full back to the other. Durrant. Certainly taking the long route to goal here. MacPherson. And Holt's header dropped just behind Ali Mitchell. Rangers came into this game on the back of a 7-match unbeaten run. They won 5 of those 7 games. Jonathan Johansson. He was taken out by Kevin McGowne, and that's surely going to be the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, he's not happy at all, but he's well late with the challenge there. Lovely little change of pace here by Johansson, and he's clearly caught late. I don't think Kevin McGowne can have any complaints at all. This is great wide play once again by Johansson. And but for the challenge, he would have been up and running.
He got sent off here in one of the games last season. Treading a fine line again. Perini. Still no goals in the other match that matters as far as the race for a place in Europe is concerned. St Johnstone Dundee goalless. Hendrick. Johansson. Mitchell. Here's Roberts. It's a Rangers throw. Colin Hendry has taken a bit of a knock.
Well, we know he's suffering from a groin problem as well, Ian, and with the cup final coming up, I think Dick Advocaat might be tempted to give him a rest after half-time. look towards the dugout there.
It's a growing problem that's been troubling him for a few months now. Marto saw the funny side of this Kilmarnock free kick. Mahood, Ian Durrant. McGowne is up there, unable to get the better of Amoruso though. Oops, don't think that was the plan. MacPherson. Strange header from Claudio Reyna, was rescued by Amoruso at the expense of a throw.
Yeah, once again Amoruso was positive to react to the miscue from Reyna. And he does well when the ball's in the air, Amoruso. He makes up his mind early and he'll take anything in front of him.
Durrant with a bit of time. Oh, and it's in from McGowne. Kilmarnock a level. He managed to steer his header home, Kevin McGowne. And a vital equaliser could yet see Kilmarnock heading for Europe.
Yeah, Stefan Kloss well beaten. A great ball whipped in by Ian Durrant. Look at the pace in this delivery. And it's just a glancing blow there from Kevin McGowne, who managed to get across the front of Amoruso. In the front of Amoruso, Kloss scrambling across his goal, never going to get there. That's a smashing goal. And it owes much to the quality of that cross there from Ian Durrant.
He's weighed in with a few goals this season. Kevin McGowne. Kilmarnock a level. Vidmar. Albert nearby. This is Perini. Amato. Inside the final few minutes of the first half. Kilmarnock have been plugging away to little effect, but they're going to have a spot of bother here. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, it was Ian Durrant there back in the left-back position. Rangers just trying to up a gear. They had looked flat for the 15 minutes or so before that. Kilmarnock now back in the game.
And Broncos with the corner. Came off Dylan Kerr. There'll be another one on the other side. Colin Hendry yet to score for Rangers. They get on the end of Claudio Reyna's corner. Johansson tried to slam it back in. Mark Roberts. Durrant. Spotting the options available as usual. Looking for Ali Mitchell this time, but hacked away by Amoruso. Lauchlan finding Kerr. Back it goes to Jim Lauchlan. Mitchell couldn't keep that in. Van Bronckhorst onto Amato. It's a stray one. And what a boost that equaliser will give Kilmarnock as they head towards the break.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bobby Williamson will be saying at half-time that this game is here for the winning, because Rangers, and as I said earlier, understandably so, are looking flat, maybe even disinterested in this match, and Kilmarnock really have to make the most of that.
Well, it's half-time. Yes, Jerome Vareille comes on in place of Mark Roberts. The Frenchman dislocated a shoulder here in December and only recently returned after 4 months out. And Rangers have brought on Neil McCann and Derek McInnes, and Jonathan Johansson is certainly one to make way, and also Claudio Reyna, I think, is the other. So McCann and McInnes are on for Johansson and for Reyna. And it's Rangers who will start the second half. And maybe the arrival of those two, McCann and McInnes, will add a little urgency to the proceedings. But Kilmarnock will have seen enough to suggest that Rangers' minds are elsewhere on the Scottish Cup final, and that this match is winnable.
I think Neil McCann will present a similar problem for Kilmarnock at the back. Not dissimilar to Jonathan Johansson in terms of his willingness to chase the ball over the top and the pace he has. And it's good to see Jerome Vareille getting a chance as well. He will give Kilmarnock a different option altogether. Good physical presence about him, he's mobile, he'll chase the ball into corners, and he holds it up well.
Here is Vareille. MacPherson. Ball centre though collected by Kloss. Confirmation of those Rangers substitutions then, as Dylan Kerr gives it a go.
It was a poor throw there from Stefan Kloss, and Kerr was quite right here, because Kloss was well out of his goal. He was going to take something special to score from here, but he saw Kloss well off his line.
Stefan Kloss, one of 3 international keepers on Rangers' books, of course. Lionel Charbonnier is back in training after missing a good few months through injury. Antti Niemi, the Finn, also on Rangers' books, although maybe not for much longer. Kanchelskis, away by Lauchlan. Here's Perini. Hendry. It's Aberdeen 1, Hearts 2 at Pittodrie. Gary McSwiggan with his second of the game for the Jambos. Scottish Cup winners last year, of course, when they beat Rangers. Alan Mahood. Holt is down hurt. Kilmarnock are going to kick the ball out so he can get a little bit of treatment.
Yeah, I think he's taken a sore one there. I think it was Derek McInnes who caught him. And it must be a sore one. This lad doesn't go down easily, I can tell you. Yeah, just on the top of his right foot there, he takes the studs off Derek McInnes. It's a fraction late, the Rangers midfielder, and that's a sore one, tender part of the foot.
Former Celtic junior Gary Holt had a spell with Stoke City in England. Looks like he'll be okay to continue. Derek McInnes had a loan spell with Stockport County in England earlier in the season. Kevin McGowne, who scored Kilmarnock's equaliser. Here's Jerome Vareille. Henry. Van Bronckhorst looking for Amato. It's a little awkward, this, for Lauchlan. Amato hassling him. Credit to Lauchlan, who held on grimly to the ball then. But Rangers have it. McInnes was caught late. Gary McSwiggan has completed a hat-trick for Hearts at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 3, all three down to McSwiggan. A quick free kick, almost fooled Kanchelskis, but he's got time to send it back. And here's Amato! Marshall stopped it that time, but his throw's gone straight to Van Bronckhorst. Vidmar stood up there. It breaks for Mahood. Derek McInnes. Vareille. Just MacPherson. It's met by Perini and duly dispatched. Durrant. Vareille. And Bronckhorst up to Amato. He looks for Albert, but Mahood stepped in. McGowne. Straight to Amoruso. McCann's going to chase this. They'll have to be careful with him around.
Yeah, I think we'll see a fair bit of that in the second half, Ian. McCann gives Rangers the option of knocking it over the top. And the way Kilmarnock play, they try to squeeze again, they push up as far as they can. It's going to leave a big area for McCann to break into.
Rangers get the free kick. Kilmarnock in third place, but they are 21 points behind Rangers. Kanchelskis. It's a decent delivery, made by McGowne. Alberts. Looking for Vidmar. McGowne saw it coming. He signed a long-term contract. McGowne. Kilmarnock could, of course, have guaranteed the UEFA Cup spot last week if they'd beaten St Johnstone, but that match ended 1-1. So the race for the UEFA Cup place went to the final day. Still no goals at McDermott Park. All square there, and level 2 here. So it's looking good for Killie at the moment. Maybe not at this moment in time, though, as Kanchelskis looks for Amato. He didn't quite get it right.
Yeah, Alberts was coming in behind him. Wide left, didn't see him at all. Don't think he got a shout either.
Hendry. Kanchelskis. Aimed towards Amato. Away by MacPherson, but only to Alberts. Unable to put Neil McCann in, much to the dismay of the Rangers fans, who've had their quietest day of the season, saving their voices and their songs for next week, no doubt.
Yeah, I've no doubt about that, Ian. Kilmarnock will never have a better chance of winning at Ibrox. I mean, under normal circumstances, a draw would be a good result here for Kilmarnock, but it would only take one goal at McDermott Park to change the entire picture.
Kanchelskis. Kanchelskis thought about the quick throw, but he'll leave it for Sergio Perini. Amato. Bounced off Perini and behind for a goal kick. It's some final day of the season for Hearts. Colin Cameron's penalty has put them 4-1 up at Aberdeen. Although remember, in a bizarre scenario involving UEFA and the Fair Play League, Aberdeen could yet qualify for European competition by finishing 4th in the Fair Play League. I'm not even going to try and start to explain that one again.
It would be painful for St Johnstone if that were to be the case, given the contribution they've made to the Premier League this season. And I know Bobby Williamson would much rather qualify for the European place through his league position. He's one of the old school, he doesn't really believe in all this fair play nonsense.
It's going to go away from Vareille. The attendance, 48,835 at Ibrox today. And amongst the spectators, Rangers legend Ali McCoist not fit enough to play against them for Kilmarnock, but seemingly ready to agree another one-year deal with the club. Vareille, away by Vidmar. And Broncos, I think people was a little casual. Durrant doesn't quite know where he's going yet. Mahood. MacPherson. Henry. This is promising for Kilmarnock. Crosses punch. And Bronckhorst surges away. Here's Kanchelskis. Kilmarnock stretched here. McCann ahead of him. And he's found him. There's no flag. And it's Kanchelskis! And it's somehow blocked. And they were unable to round off that sweeping move.
Yeah, a bit of pass the parcel there. Kanchelskis and McCann did well there, both of them to stay onside in the first place. Disappointing finish overall, but Kilmarnock caught for arguably the first time in the match, shot at the back there as Rangers broke. And I think that's an indication of how many players they're now throwing forward in this match. And here we go, it's 2 against 1. Jim Lauchlan comes across. McCann manages to stay onside, back to Kanchelskis. And eventually it's Lauchlan again. In fact, it's Kevin McGowne who manages to make the block.
The left foot of Albert looks keen. Albert swirling one in. Marshall may well have had that covered as he rushed across his line.
Yeah, there's always a danger when this man's in charge. He just goes round the inside of the wall, a yard wide of the target. But he hits the ball with such power and pace. He's likely to be dangerous from any distance, this man.
Vareille chasing. Henry holds him off. And the throw in has gone Kilmarnock's way. Willie Young. He's having a laugh with Henry about it all.
Yeah, it's clearly the right foot of Jerome Vareille who played the ball last, but good to see that Willie Young's got a sense of humour.
Kanchelskis trying to get away from Durrant. He has got away, there's absolutely no one in the middle. If he does manage to get a cross in yet, which he doesn't anyway. Durrant won that duel in the end. Van Bronckhorst. Vidmar. Van Bronckhorst. Perini. Gabriel Amato. Now Rangers closing in here. They're going to get a corner.
Yeah, Kerr had no choice there to Burke to stay on his feet. Didn't really want to dive in early. Always a chance of giving away a penalty when Amato's on the ball. Henry comes forward now. This is a time when Gordon Marshall's going to have to dominate the penalty area.
It's Van Bronckhorst to swing this one in. And it's collected by Marshall as Amoruso flew through the air. He hasn't got back, of course. That could be advantageous to Kilmarnock. MacPherson. Oh, he's tripped Kanchelski's there. No much doubt about that one.
Yeah, I think maybe in another game the yellow card would have been produced there. Willie Young has a quiet word in his ear. And it's late with absolutely no chance of playing the ball. And Willie Young does him a favour. That's certainly a booking, different circumstances.
Taking up the cat next to his assistant, Burke van Lingen. Signing of the Dutch striker Michael Moles, who arrived in the summer. So Gaffercat spending to 38 million since he took charge of Rangers. And I don't think he's finished yet. Inevitably there have been hits and misses amongst his many signings, 15 signings in all. Alberts. Perini offside against Amato.
Yeah, Amato's not happy there. He felt he timed the run well. But they do hold this line so well, this Kilmarnock back four. You see Amato, it's a flat run across the front, and when it's played, I think he's onside. Difficult one for the linesman, I wouldn't hold it against him, but so often with this Kilmarnock side we see so many marginal offside decisions.
Plenty of goals at Pittodrie today. Aberdeen have pulled one back against Hearts. Ian Jess, the scorer. Aberdeen 2, Hearts 4. Reminder that it's still St Johnstone 0, Dundee 0. A match of huge relevance to this one. As things stand at the moment, Kilmarnock are going to claim third spot. They'll be heading into the UEFA Cup. St Johnstone's reward for an excellent season might be zilch. Kanchelski has knocked it on, but Lauchlan will win the race. Up towards Vareille. Henry reigned supreme. Durrant. John Henry. Mitchell. Kerr. Sent his ball into the only part of the box where there wasn't one of his teammates lurking. Hence Vidmark was able to clear. Here's Kerr again. No way past Perini, much to his frustration.
Well, it was a poor cross here by Dylan Kerr, but it is significant that Kilmarnock did have players in the box, Ian. And I think there's a bit of belief now that they can win this match. And typical of Bobby Williamson, he's been prepared to commit players forward into the Rangers box.
McInnes. Alberts. Aim towards Amato. It's going to be a Kilmarnock throw.
Amato's far from happy again because he was taken here. I think Dylan Kerr gets some of the ball.
A fantastic season with Mallorca in Spain last season, Amato. Oh, Vareille's turned Henry. Mistake from Durrant. Gives it to Amaruso. Here's Van Bronckhorst. Kanchelskis. Alberts. McCann. Henry. Well, one back by McInnes. Getting a rare chance to shine. He's been a serial substitute in recent weeks. Vareille. Amato. Now Amato trying to bundle his way through, and he's got the free kick.
I'm surprised at that, I have to say. My early impression was that McGowne took the ball there. Amato in full flow. Kevin McGowan's heel took the top of the ball. Yeah, there's contact with the ball there. It's a good chance for Rangers, though. Free kick in a dangerous position. And with both Alberts and Van Bronckhorst over it. We're likely to see a bit of imagination here.
Which one will it be? It's Van Bronckhorst, took a deflection, tipped over by Marshall.
Yeah, it's the only way Gordon Marshall could deal with it. Good effort from Van Bronckhorst. It just comes off Ian Durrant there, and Gordon Marshall has no choice but to tip it over the bar. And the goalkeeper did well there to react.
Marshall now has to contend with a corner, which is sent in by Van Bronckhorst and sent out by Lauchlan. Vidmar. Amato would field out wide. Mitchell sticking with him. Too much support at the moment, Amato. Offside flag went up as he got the return ball. Dundee United have pulled a goal back against Celtic at Tannadice. Billy Dodds with a penalty there after Mark Birchall's double in the space of a couple of first half minutes. Still St Johnstone 0, Dundee 0. What a fabulous end of the season Dundee have had, or second half of the season really. Kanchelskis, Scottish transfer record signing. McInnes with a little flick. He gets another bite. Amato. And it drops here for Kanchelskis. Some determined defending from Kilmarnock, but then they've been pretty determined all season in that area. We're midway through the second half. And at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 2, Hearts 5, and the Austrian Thomas Vogel has scored the 5th for Hearts. It's Vareille, he's away here, but has to wait for somebody to join him. No one did really. Bronckhorst, McInnes, Vareille. Vidmar. Neil McCann. It's a wicked cross, which was dealt with initially by Marshall and then by Mitchell.
Yeah, it's a terrific delivery here from Neil McCann. Could have hit it first time, decided to take the early touch first of all. Gordon Marshall has to react quickly there, underneath it slightly. And Kilmarnock do enough to get it away, but that's a wonderful cross here from Neil McCann.
Rangers well ahead on the corner count. Can they go ahead on goals? And Bronckhorst sent it in, flicked on by Alberts. It's going to be another corner.
I think Gordon Marshall is crucial in these situations for Kilmarnock. Rangers have certainly more aerial threat than Kilmarnock, and I think he has to dominate that goalmouth in situations such as these.
Broncos, Alberts, McInnes, Mahood on his way through it. I think you've known about it as well. Here's Vareille, couldn't keep it in. George Alberts. It's come through to McCann. And Chelskis. Vidmar. He's gone past Holt. Obviously meant to pass it to Perini. He's on the corner of Kerr.
Well, once again, Vidmar did well to make room on the left-hand side there. Perini just trying to knock it over Dylan Kerr's head there, and once again the fullback does enough to concede the corner. But Kilmarnock really on the back foot at the moment.
Another Van Bronckhorst corner. Was right into the thick of it, and like Amato headed it wide.
Yeah, he takes a good corner, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Hooked in, it's dipping as well. And Amato, I don't think expected to win that.
Durrant's header, Henry's header, is Vareille. Alan Mahood. McInnes has been lively since coming on at the start of the second half for Rayner. McCann came on for Johansson, and he's away here, and his cross almost found its way through to Amato. Dylan Kerr launched it into the stand.
Yeah, he did well, Dylan Kerr, just tucking in there, giving his centre-backs a bit of insurance. Kevin McGowne gives Neil McCann just too much room here, and McCann's too quick for him. Looks up, plays the ball in, and Dylan Kerr's coming across. Good play by the fullback. Well, Willie Young has angered the Rangers supporters by giving a goal kick.
Mahood. It's going to drift through to Stefan Kloss. Who's pretty much a spectator at the moment, really. Rangers launch an assault on the Kilmarnock goal. McInnes. Gary Holt. Only one man ahead of him at the moment. So, going it alone wouldn't be a bad idea. Perini and Kloss between them, combining to clear.
Yeah, he was almost in there. He was prepared to accept the responsibility, didn't need any help. And Sergio Perini did well to get back, goal side of him.
Mitchell. Kerr. Here's Mitchell. And it was snuffed out by Perini, and no kick's been given.
Well, much to Alan Mitchell's dismay, I have to say. Good ball there by Dylan Kerr to release him on the left. Perini appeared to get the last touch on that.
McInnes. Perini. Amato. And Chelskis. Finding Vidmar. McInnes. Well, in the race for this European place, the pendulum has swung in favour of St Johnstone because Paul Kane has broken the deadlock at McDermott Park. St Johnstone one up over Dundee, which means that as it stands at the moment, they will be going in to the UEFA Cup next season. And Kilmarnock might have to rely on their Fair Play League placing. Vareile's cross will be collected by Marshall. I'm sure that score will filter its way down to these players somehow.
Yeah, I think Bobby Williamson is already aware, to be honest with you, and he's been pretty animated over the last couple of minutes, and I think clearly he knows the news. And I would think he probably expected it. I think he came here today knowing that Kilmarnock really had to win this one.
Well, both teams, Kilmarnock and St Johnstone, really have been a credit to the Scottish Premier League this season with some of the football they've produced. With a quarter of an hour remaining here, Kilmarnock in danger of being edged out. Neil McCann. He's got the pace to get the better of Holt. It's a real hanging cross, which is only cleared as far as McInnes. Kanchelskis wide.
Once again, it was the pace of McCann on the left-hand side that caused the problem. Not for the first time he gets in behind Gary Holt on this occasion. Ball's in the air for a long time. Gordon Marshall decides to stay. Not a great clearance, I have to say, from Dylan Kerr. And eventually Kanchelskis screws it wide of the target. Kilmarnock just a bit stretched there at the back.
Durrant by McInnes. The Kilmarnock fans have no doubt heard on their radios there that St Johnstone have scored and that they have the upper hand in the race for a Euro place at the moment. It could change, of course. It often does change in football. Kilmarnock are going to bring on their young striker Gary McCutcheon shortly. Burke's also going to come on as they try to produce a rousing finish to the season. At the moment, a draw is not good enough for Kilmarnock to get into Europe. You have to say it's Rangers who are looking more likely to score again. Kanchelskis, McInnes, Perini. McInnes with so much space here. What will he do with it? Oh, it's gone right across. Marto. He twists and he turns. An equaliser for Motherwell at Dunfermline. And Don Goodman, the former Wolves striker, has got his first goal for Motherwell. Perini. Kanchelskis. Setting up McInnes, who in turn gives Alvarez the chance to show why he's nicknamed the Hammer.
Yeah, even from this range, he's always going to be dangerous. It's Gary Holt who just lies off him a bit here. That encourages him to have a dig. Never really gets over it.
Double substitution for Kilmarnock then, as we mentioned a moment ago. Gary McCutcheon and Alex Burke coming on. And the men making way are Ali Mitchell and John Hendry. It's the last throw of the dice for Bobby Williamson.
Yeah, he does make good use of his substitutes. I think it is worth the gamble, if you could call it that, at this stage in the game. Alex Burke, always liable to go by a defender, quick. And young McCutcheon has scored that, showed that he knows where the goal is.
Johnston one up over Dundee. That means Kilmarnock have got a win here. They're trying to put Rangers under some pressure, first of all. At the moment, it's they who are on the rack. The skills of Van Bronckhorst delighting the fans.
Yeah, it's superb ability here by Van Bronckhorst. Good close control. As I said earlier, the range of the passing really is spectacular at times. Short, long, it's always accurate. And he has been a worthy addition here to Dick Advocaat's staff.
Now back in favour in the French national squad as well. Heading to Brazil for a couple of friendlies against the Brazilian national side next month. Amato, corner. Just going for a short corner. And this is Amato. Away by Holt, but only to Kanchelskis. Flag went up. In any case, it's Amato.
When he's wide, he's looking across the line here. He really shouldn't be caught in this position, and he clearly is offside. McCann's trying to get out as well.
Vareille could be in here. And now Burke. Oh, he just couldn't get it down.
Yeah, he just tries to take this on his chest here as Vareille gets away from Colin Henry. Loses his balance. It's not a bad first touch, but he just loses his balance here as he tries to nudge it past Sergio Peruni.
Short back pass then. Was dealt with by Kloss. Here's Vidmar. Alberts.
Well, he can't really take this first time, Alec Burke, and he knows that. He tries to just cushion it on his chest, flicks it over Peruni, and just loses his balance at the crucial moment.
Kanchelskis. And back it goes to McGowne. Oh, that took a deflection and went away for the corner.
Yeah, I think it's Gary Holt that comes off, and Gordon Marshall was helpless there because it was well enough struck. He just spins a yard outside the left-hand post.
That was a close call. It's not very close on corners. Rangers 10th sent in by McGuinness. Vidmar nipped in ahead of Holt. A mighty tangle, and then a foul from Holt. Gives Rangers a free kick.
Yeah, in a dangerous area as well. I don't think there was much doubt about the decision.
Kilmarnock have a problem. They've got to win at the moment as it stands, and they can't get out of their own half. Big problem. Van Bronckhorst wasted the free kick. A reminder that the Scottish season reaches its climax next weekend. Some climax too. Celtic against Rangers in the Tennent's Scottish Cup final. And we'll be live from Hampden Park at 2 o'clock on Sky Sports 3 as Dick Advocaat goes for the treble. But I imagine Celtic might have something to say about that. League business being taken care of today. And at the moment, it's St Johnstone who are heading into Europe.
Well, providing Kilmarnock get the position through the fair play situation, there might be a bit of justice in this with both St Johnstone and Kilmarnock winning European places. I think it would have been a nonsense if either Dundee United or Aberdeen were to get in ahead of either Kilmarnock or St Johnstone.
Yes, you couldn't argue if Kilmarnock and St Johnstone both make it. Far too sensible, though, in these days of extraordinary qualification guidelines that UEFA come up with, which has given Leicester City a lifeline in the English Fair Play League. Kilmarnock have got to find something from somewhere in these final few minutes of the season.
Yeah, the damage for Kilmarnock really has been done over the last few weeks, so where they really haven't taken their chances in dropping too many points, almost stumbling towards the finishing line. And the last thing you really want, the last game of the season, is to go to either Celtic Park or Ibrox having to win.
Yes, 2 points from the last 12 on offer for Kilmarnock. Tell the story. Vareille. And Chelskis gets it back from McInnes. No, he doesn't, because across comes Lauchlan, but it will be a throw. McCann, who's made such an impact since joining from Hearts.
Yeah, it's like buying two players in one. I mean, he's shown this season that he can play through the middle very, very effectively. It's been a superb piece of business on Rangers' behalf, bringing him here.
Vareille going for a long one. Oh, it came through to Marta. I don't think he expected it to. Charged down by Vareille. And Kerr's tackle on Amato. Oh, then cannoned off Amato. Kilmarnock living dangerously. Oh, and Vareille almost in. And Lauchlan did enough to just about scramble it away. McInnes. Vidmar. It's going to be another Rangers corner. Kilmarnock hopes of another European adventure ebbing away unless they can find the back door in that Fair Play League. McInnes with a corner. Marshall will collect that though. Needs a big surge forward now. Decent throw, finds Vareille. Lauchlan. Kerr. Holt.
Oh, you can hear Bobby Williamson down there saying get it forward. I mean, he knows that the situation is no good to them as it stands. They really have to get a goal here.
Broken down though for Killie. Vareine's header. McInnes has seen a fair bit of the ball. Alberts. Van Bronckhorst. Alberts with a decent run. But his cross was met by Lauchlan. McInnes again. Vidmar. Van Bronckhorst, McCann is free. The first time cross, and unusually for McCann, it was wayward.
Yeah, it's not often he wastes one, Neil McCann. It was a good chance there to deliver a good ball, and it was just too deep once again.
What about the man of the match today, Davey?
Well, I think the most improved centre-back in the game, Ian, and by that I mean Kevin McGowne. Man who started with St Mirren, eventually went to St Johnstone, but really has blossomed at Rugby Park. He's been tremendously consistent. I think he's played Amato very well today, and of course he still managed to get forward for the goal as well, so he is my Bank of Scotland man of the match.
Here's Alex Burke. Is it going to be a grandstand finish to the season for Kilmarnock? A finish that would take them into Europe. Oh, Vareille went down, no penalty as Amoruso clears.
Well, Willie Young paused and he looked here, and I think Vareille's got a case there. Certainly not a great deal in it, but it's a clumsy challenge from Amoruso from behind. I don't think he takes any of the ball whatsoever, and it might have been a soft one had Willie Young given it, but I think technically Vareille had a case.
Here's Van Bronckhorst. St Johnstone leading 1-0. Kilmarnock have got to go for a winner. I think they've never gone for one before. Kerr. Burke. Kerr up towards Holt. Burke trying to get his cross in, but can't do so. Rangers certainly have a numerical advantage here as Kilmarnock push forward in their search for the winner they needed. Amato and Kanchelskis. Andrei Kanchelskis, wonderful save from Gordon Marshall. That's more like it for the big man.
Yeah, Gordon Marshall at his best, and a typical reflex save here from Marshall. Rangers had men over, Kilmarnock caught short at the back, Kanchelskis steps inside, hits it well, and Marshall did well to get across.
Corner for Rangers, here's McCann. Vidmar is in there, and it comes to Kanchelskis! Oh! It stayed out. It was Mahood on the line, whether he got something on it. Flurry of activity. But it's at the wrong end as far as Kilmarnock are concerned.
Yeah, Kilmarnock just looking a bit ragged at the back now. I think a consequence of throwing too many players forward trying to win this game, and there's no shame in that.
Now a chance for Rangers to finish their league season in style. With Amato, it's going to be another corner if there's time for it.
Well, this was the save, and it's typical of Gordon Marshall. Kanchelskis hits it well, and Marshall spreads himself and gets across.
Unless Dundee can conjure up an equaliser at St Johnstone, Kilmarnock are going to finish fourth. And it's all over at Ibrox. It finishes 1-1 here, and that may not be enough for Bobby Williamson. Shakes hands with Dick Advocat. He's had a really good season, Bobby Williamson. They're still playing at McDermott Park. St Johnstone lead Dundee 1-0 if it stays that way. St Johnstone claim third place, and Bobby Williamson will be hoping that his team can get into Europe by virtue of winning the Fair Play League in Scotland, and Scotland are top of the European Fair Play League as well, which should guarantee automatic entry, whereas other clubs like Leicester in England have to go into a ballot. Rangers take the applause from their fans, and St Johnstone have beaten Dundee by 1-0, and St Johnstone celebrate European football. They will be in the UEFA Cup next season. Bobby Williamson hopes that when the points are totted up in this complicated Fair Play League system, his side may yet be there as well. They have had a splendid season. Both they and St Johnstone have done the Scottish Premier League proud.